Last week's episode created quite the splash.
Cheers.
When we revealed that we had an indoor pool under here. It's under there. It's not full. I mean, we can't use it, and technically we don't have an indoor pool, but people years ago that owned this house had an indoor pool. And it must have been pretty sweet, because this room's huge.
Yeah.
We also asked you guys what you would do with the underground pool space, because we are open to ideas at this point. We don't know what we're gonna have to do with it. And it's so fun to be able to be interactive with you, because it's like we have you here on site with us. And I'm used to filming network TV shows, and we would film the shows, they would go to editing, and then they would air on TV, and there was no interaction with the viewers. This way, we put a video out every week, and we get feedback on that video for next week's video. And I'm so happy I finally made my way to YouTube, because it feels like we have a huge support network and community as we progress through this renovation. We also have had such an incredible week, because we have learned so much about this house through the power of the internet and connecting with people, and people randomly seeing this video that have either gone swimming at this house or had family members that built this house. The grandson of the original builders and owners of this house reached out to us, and we learned so much about how this house was built, why things were built, the progression of the builds, and we are going to be sharing that with you right now. Let's talk about the most exciting thing that we learned from the grandson.
Right. Confirming something that we already thought.
Suspected.
Yeah. Is that the pool room was built after the octagon and the bedrooms, which we kind of thought the whole time.
Yeah, it makes sense now looking at it, because it seemed like the octagon was encroaching on the pool room space, and then they kind of built the roof line and the wall, this wall.
They wrapped it around the octagon.
Yeah.
And the octagon comes into the pool room.
So confirmed that the pool was built afterwards.
Which makes a lot of sense, because we've said many times that this part of the house is like a whole house, and then you've got this whole section, and that's because it was a whole house.
Yeah, and also the roof lines were very confusing because they're so different. We also learned that originally the roof line over the pool house was a flat roof. It makes sense because that's cohesive with the way that the rest of the house is, with the flat roof over the bedrooms, then the octagon, and then the flat roof over the pool. But they ended up changing it because flat roofs aren't always the best roofs.
That comment that we got, someone said you couldn't give me a house that has a flat roof.
Give them a house.
Like,
they would not take this house because it has a flat roof. And I beg to differ, because if we came up to you and said, can we give you this house? One caveat, it has a flat roof, and you said no,
check you into an institution.
Yeah.
And you can tell just by looking at it that it's not built the same. The octagon has horizontal siding, and the pool room has a brick facade and then vertical siding. So it's totally different.
Totally different. Sometimes in a building scheme, though, you do change up the siding just to give it more aesthetically pleasing, architectural, so it's
just so
not
it doesn't
just
look all the same.
The same siding.
That makes sense.
So that wouldn't always be an indicator, but now that we know, it does make sense that it's different. Obviously, they ripped off the flat roof. Apparently, there were skylights, and they reframed the roof to what it is now. Doesn't have a lot of detail to it. It's more industrial,
it's more purposeful.
Yes.
Rather than aesthetically pleasing.
And much better than a flat roof.
Right.
So that is the number one thing that we learned. We also learned, because I had a conversation with the grandson, his grandparents decided that after they had built this house, that they wanted to build an indoor pool for their grandchildren.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool grandparents there. Actually, when I was really young, my grandparents had a hot tub inside their house, just in one of the spare bedrooms. And I still have memories of floating in there with my cousins and just having such a great time, unknowingly splashing around, getting water everywhere. And the steam, imagine the water damage. I'm gonna have to ask them about this, because unless you built the house to have that indoor hot tub with industrial ventilation, then it must have had some moisture
They probably
problems.
just plunked it in there and thought that's good enough.
This will be fun for the grandkids.
Yeah. And think about you going over to your grandparents' house and loving that hot tub. Imagine these grandchildren that came over here with the ocean. You could play on the beach, hop from the ocean to the indoor pool. What a cool way to grow up.
But you and I have talked, we actually love going swimming in the ocean, and we
Yeah.
know some of you have expressed that you don't love swimming in the ocean, and
You have some family
some of my
members.
family members said the same thing. I would love to be in a pool and looking over the ocean, but I don't love swimming in the ocean. So I get it, but for us personally, it
It's
wouldn't
not.
be a huge benefit.
No, and it's not worth it to lose that square footage. And we're actually going to go back
Yeah.
inside and go over why, because we didn't realize how big that pool was, even having been down there, until we started to lay it out in the pool room. And we'll talk about why we're most likely 99.9% positive not bringing that pool back.
Yeah, it would be a
Sorry.
big sacrifice.
Okay, so Matt is down in the pool by himself, alone.
Don't worry, I've got my water wings on.
After talking about some of the comments and suggestions, and even considering should we bring the pool back, we wanted to lay out where the pool is right now without having to lift the flooring. So Matt is going down into the pool and measuring from the hatch to the end of the deep end. How far is it?
It is 10.5 feet.
10.5 feet?
Yeah, into the suite.
I should get some tape. Actually, there's some hockey tape here. Convenient. What do you think the total length of the pool is?
40 feet.
Obviously, this is approximate, but I use your hockey tape. Might even go further.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. You can feel it on the floor.
Yeah, it
Kinda
shakes right here.
So,
Solid right there.
yeah, so approximately.
Yeah.
But you can go to the other end if you want. That's the other end?
Yeah.
So we're only at 35 here.
Oh.
So you said it's 40?
Yeah, 39 it is.
39?
Yeah.
Okay, so 39 is actually, I'm gonna move my tape.
And we're only like 4 feet from the property line, basically.
Yeah, because at first we didn't realize how big the pool was. But when we started to like slightly consider what it would look like to bring this pool back, we wanted to see where it ended up. And this is where it ended up. And you lose the in-law suite.
The entire wing
Yeah.
would be at the pool.
It takes up the whole room.
Yeah, you lose all this space, the whole suite,
Yeah.
just to have a pool with a small deck, because there's only like 4 feet from the end of the pool right to the property line. So
Yeah.
hardly any space.
I didn't think about the fact that obviously this pool room was built for the pool, but I thought maybe the in-law suite was like a pool house or like an extra. You had the pool and then you had extra living space over there.
That's what I
didn't
thought.
even think about the possibility that if you brought the pool back, you'd lose this whole room.
Yeah, so obviously that in-law suite was added after
After.
they covered the pool. Mm-hmm. So yeah, interesting learning all these different things.
Essentially, that means that we're
No.
not bringing this pool
Give
back.
up half the house just to have an indoor pool when we have the world's biggest pool right there.
Exactly. We don't mind swimming with the whales and the seals.
Ride a seal.
It's always good to look into ideas, and at some point we will rip this floor up so you'll see the outline of the pool
That
itself.
would be cool.
But it's just so crazy to think about how big that space is. A lot of people have mentioned like canning, a cold storage room, lots of extra storage, which is great.
A dark room for
A dark-
developing photography.
What else? Oh no, fill it with piranhas. Fill it, and then fill it with piranhas, and then have a secret hatch for your
trap
arch
door.
nemesis.
Sharks with laser beams attached to
Trap
their
door.
heads.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked the creativity on that one. Someone suggested a wine cellar, which is kind of what I was thinking about when I was talking about if we had the kitchen in here and had the island with a secret door.
Yeah.
And you could walk down into your big, beautiful wine cellar. All possibilities. We are not crossing anything off the list but bringing the pool back.
Yeah, that's crossed off, I think.
Yeah. We had my whole family over here a couple days ago for my mom's 70th birthday. And my brother was at the sink and he mentioned that he wished that they had shifted the window this way several feet, because right here, you're looking out at the house. There's a wall right there. And if you turn to the right, there's a beautiful garden and it looks really nice. That's when it clicked for us. They built that section after, which is why there's now a wall there. Kind of questionable, because why would you build a wall right in front of a window? But you do have access to the view in the garden.
Yeah, originally, I guess you were just looking out at the garden and the front yard.
Can you see the wall behind me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the orientation would be, your brother didn't know, so he said it would just make more sense if the window was facing here.
Yeah.
So you're looking
So we even
out
just
at
shifted
that
down
side.
this way. Yeah. So we had never thought about it, but another thing that we learned from the grandson is that the whole front entry, laundry room, and Griffin's nursery area was built after the fact.
Yeah, and you can kind of feel
Don't mind
it.
all of the beautiful pictures that we had
the
for my
floor.
mom. So this used to be your front entry into the house. There wasn't this awkward big front entry laundry room. And you can kind of feel it, that there's a hump in the floor there.
It's definitely built afterwards.
We had a neighbor stop by and mention that Griffin's bedroom used to be a garage or maybe like a carport, because I was trying to think about the flat roof was built all at the same time. So this might have all been
Just a carport.
a carport
Yeah.
and garage area.
Yeah,
And
you
then
can
they
see
finished it?
on the outside there is like a driveway going right up to Griffin's window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the original house used to be very small.
Yeah,
Like
just,
you
just
walked
some bedrooms and
into the octagon and 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
That's it. And a storage space. This house has been built onto over time.
The Frankenstein house
Yeah.
pieced together.
Pieced together. I never thought about the fact that this could have been an addition
No.
as well.
It never crossed my mind.
I thought they had just converted the garage
Yeah.
because we were told that was the case. But now we have confirmation that this was also built afterwards, which makes for, whenever there's something that's built on afterwards, it also means that there could be potential problems
Yeah.
because you're trying to figure out how to
Attach
something onto the
an
existing.
exterior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now Griffin's up, so pause.
That's a tape measure. Are you swimming? You gotta put these away. Oh, are you gonna help Daddy?
Yeah, you get that one.
It's gonna disappear. All gone.
Hockey tape and tape measures, how suitable. A little bit of you, a little bit of me.
Hey, buddy. Griffin, what do you think we should do with this room?
A ball pit.
Ball pit!
Can you imagine? 800 square
giant
feet.
ball pit.
Do you want a ball pit?
Oh.
I mean,
that
it
would
might be the
unreal.
most traumatizing thing you've ever experienced.
You don't like the ball pit idea, hey?
You don't know what you're missing, Griff. A giant ball pit. I can't believe we never thought of that.
What else could we fill it with? I wonder if anyone's noticed your makeshift surround sound yet.
Yes, that's one of the coolest parts of this room.
Well, you wanted to start piecing together a surround sound system so that when we do finish this room properly, that you have an idea of what you want and the setup that you want.
Yeah, we're gonna have to change the speakers anyway because we want them in wall rather than on wall. In wall and in ceiling.
Yes, so they're less visible, more aesthetically pleasing.
Originally, we talked about making the suite a home theater room in the back bedroom and
Because it gets the least light.
my office in this front room here, but it just makes a little bit more sense. It's a little more practical to keep it as a livable suite. But then Kate said I was allowed to have a home theater in our living room. So we kind of pieced this one together with some nice speakers.
Some all around, keep them up on the ceiling.
Yeah, just kind of a makeshift thing for a few months. And then eventually we'll build in a home theater system.
Yeah, this is all temporary, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, we're kind of crazy to move all this furniture into this space and then to move it out in like a month or so.
Because you want to extend the suite.
The working idea right now is that we're gonna live in the octagon and bedroom kitchen section of the house,
Right.
completely close it off,
Right.
and then gut the pool room and the suite and work on the foundation and
Finish this off.
area. Possibly make the suite an actual 2-bedroom suite. So take more of this pool room for the suite itself.
Because we don't need all of this extra space.
No, and it actually would make sense with friends and family visiting that we have a dedicated 2-bedroom in-law suite available to them.
And a 2-bedroom suite is going to make it much easier for us to do
To deal with family.
what we're planning.
Yes, because what we're planning is finishing the 2-bedroom suite, moving into the 2-bedroom suite with Griffin and our family.
Closing that off.
And then renovating the main part of the house
Right.
so that we can stay on site. We don't have to rent somewhere else.
And not have to live through a reno.
And not
which
have to
we
live through a
did
reno, yes.
Without a baby, and it was hard enough.
Yeah, and we don't want to. Yeah, we don't want to do that again because it's hard enough working through nap times and then trying to plan things, let alone like filming and renovating and living in dusty, dirty,
how hard it was.
safe, unsafe situations.
We had a makeshift kitchen in the garage for a bit. We had no running water upstairs in the old house.
And this is the only time that you've done it. I've done it
Yeah, you've lived through
throughout
many.
my whole adult life.
You're used to it. It was hard for me.
I was used to it on my own.
Yeah.
It was harder with 2 people. It would be near impossible.
Yeah, you just don't want to do it.
No, and I don't want to subject Griffin to that as well. So the plan right now is to finish the suite, move into it, and then gut the rest of the house. That will be the progression of things. But that poses another problem because you can't finish the suite without knowing how the rest of the house will look.
Right.
Because you're ordering things like doors and windows and putting on siding. And you can't finish the suite just haphazardly, like whatever, we'll just put whatever we can on. We need to have a
whole
cohesive
plan.
look and a whole
Yeah.
plan. So we have to start putting that plan together, and we want to take our time with that plan. So it's just like chicken before the egg, kind of, and we're going to have a bunch of things going on at once.
Yeah, it's complicated, but we're going to take our time, do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, for anyone asking, it was very worth it to do the full sound system for only 5 months or 6 months. Very
That's how we
worth
started
it.
on this conversation. Yeah, you love that thing. For me, I'm like, why are you taking the time to do this when there's a million other things on
Yeah,
our list?
right. You love it.
But happy husband, happy
That's the saying.
happy life. Yeah, it doesn't have
Nothing
the same ring
rhymes
to
with
it.
husband.
Husband, brusband.
What rhymes with
husband.
husband?
Yeah, honestly.
Anyone? Finish
Husband.
that sentence for
Yeah,
us.
we have happy wife, happy life, but there definitely needs
Happy
to be.
spouse, happy house. Works both ways.
Yes.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
You want to show mommy what you're doing?
It seems like a really great idea right now to be able to stay on site, move into one space, then renovate the other.
But things may change.
But things may change. Matt's taking care of Griffin inside, so I thought I would hop out here quickly to talk about that area where we said that there was the driveway that led up to what used to be, from what we were told, a garage. And it makes sense the way this was set up and how it looks like this cinder block foundation was kind of patched in. You can see there's a lot of black mold along the siding. There's some moisture issues here. You can see where the brick ends and where the siding begins. As Matt mentioned, a change in siding can sometimes signify an addition because you don't have the same siding going on. This flat roof seems like it was all done at the same time. So that's why the garage or carport makes sense, because the garage would have had the roof built already. It just wasn't enclosed, and they ended up enclosing the space after the fact. It's gonna be really interesting once we start peeling the layers back from this house and starting to gut things to see how they adjoined the 2 additions that they did, the pool house and this is Griffin's nursery right now. This section of the house, I don't know if I've told Matt this yet, but the flat roof concerns me. And I know we had that one comment that said you couldn't give me a house with a flat roof. I don't think I would build a house with a flat roof. I, at this point, am thinking that this roof might need to come off. Would we love that? No, because it's tens of thousands of dollars in reframing. But I also think that it could be something that adds to not only the functionality of the house, because flat roofs aren't the greatest, but also the look of the house. Even though flat roofs are kind of that mid-century modern, but other than this flat roof, we then have the octagon pitched roof and then the pool house. So at some point they veered away from the flat roof mid-century modern look anyway. And that's where a good rendering of the overall design, new roof lines if needed, and all of the different windows and doors that we'll be putting in will really help us envision the space after we're done with it. And it's so important at the beginning of your reno to do something like that, so you do have a cohesive space. Inside, the rooms are just under 8 feet, so they feel a little short. You can kind of see it here. That's the full height, especially coming from the octagon room, which is a big vaulted ceiling, and the pool room, which has something like 12-foot ceilings. Then walking into the bedrooms feels a little closed in. So I could see possibly us having to reframe a whole roof system on this section of the house. And at that point, seriously considering, because we are changing the layout of the bedrooms eventually, also at that point, building taller walls to allow for taller ceilings. But we'll see where our budget's at after we tackle the pool area. That's our number one priority because the foundation is crumbling, the brick is falling off. We don't know what to do with the pool. We have identified that we want to keep the suite, so we want to tackle all of those things so that we can finish the suite, move into it, and start the bulk of the renovation from there. So priorities are calling foundation people and having some people out to look at it, some HVAC people to look at our furnace situation, an electrician, and putting together a design and really buckling down to try and figure out how we want this house to look after we're done renovating. So there's a lot on the go right now, and we haven't started any of it. That is it for today's episode. We talked a little bit more in depth about the pool because it caused such a big splash last week. We also talked about some of your ideas for the pool, the fact that we won't be bringing the pool back. We are going to be finishing the in-law suite first and moving into it and then doing the main renovation afterwards. And we also talked about some of the discoveries that we made and some of the people that messaged us and taught us some things about this house. So stay tuned for next week. Make sure you hammer that like button because every like feeds the YouTube algorithm and allows this video to reach more people. And that way we get to connect and have more friends along for the ride. Make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you get notified when we release an episode. See you next time.